Hello, everybody. Welcome on into stream today. Hope you're all doing well and your day is going great so far. We're about ready to get started off into some patch 7.55 stuff. We've got a lot of stuff to cover, and I have a feeling I'm going to get kicked in the nads by this relic weapon. But anyway, let's get going. That's where we're starting. We're going to get that. We're going to rip that band-aid off. We just got to go. We got to go to the oh. Ta. Hey, man. Now, a little thing they got going on Twitch right now. On Twitch, 3 subs will get you a in-game mount. It is a rainbow maned unicorn. But those 3 subs have to be to a single streamer, which can be gifted or just done 3 times. Don't know why somebody would do 3 just standard stubs, so that'd be weird in that sense. But let's see what we're gonna get into here. Under no illusion, like this seal has something to discuss with you. Perfect time. Been meeting to have a word with you. I'm guessing you remember Geralt's plan to combine his modern method with the ancient knowledge he's uncovered. I don't know what accent that was. Well, it sounds like you need to examine that phantom weapon of yours. Would you mind obliging? I'll be straight with you, lad. I'm worried about your phantom weapon. Part of me hopes it's just the rum talking, but we'll need to take a gander either way. Go on, stow it away. I've seen enough. Just as predicted, eh? Indeed. I'm afraid the weapon is, in a sense, defective. To think this Isle's ether could deceive even my superlative perception. A potent force indeed. That it may be, but now we know the plan will work. Hold on. I'm struggling to keep up. Fair enough. Perhaps we could do with it. We could all do with a reminder. You remember what we've done to your phantom weapon so far? It's all floating right over my head, honestly. I believe you've used it with the Isle's elusive energies. Exactly, and just like those energies, your weapon is a shifting, intangible phantom. In short, the aether permeating this Isle is teeming with illusory properties, and highly potent to boot. That's what gives your weapon its frightening power. Of course, that power needs stabilizing, which is why we turn to ancient methods to keep the aether from dissipating. I thought that had done the trick, but apparently not. Perhaps there was some flaw in the process. It would appear so. While the Isle's aether greatly elevated the weapon's capabilities, its volatile nature is limiting the potential for further enhancement. we weren't able to verify as much by examining the adventurer's weapon earlier. So you're saying there's more power to wring out of the thing, but we just can't get to it? Can't get to it yet? Hence me grand plan. To counteract this phantasmal energy's diffusal weapon, reveal its innate form and unleash its true potential. Perfectly logical approach, but is such a thing possible? For a smith of your peerless talent, and worthy of little praise, I'd say. If you want all the details, you'll have to congratulate me on the brilliant plan, and before I crack open another bottle of rum, forget all about it. Congratulate Geralt. Bask in your admiration's thirsty work. Might crack open the rum after all. Only joking. Truth is, I'm itching to get started. Those phantasmal energies I mentioned have bound your weapon in a complex illusion, preventing it from truly shining. By stripping that illusion away and revealing the true essence of the weapon, we solved the problem. Stripping the illusion away. Like using a glamour dispeller to remove the projected appearance of arms and armor. It might be feasible with the right apparatus. Now you're talking. The best part is that we already got the thing for the job. Ain't that right? Did the archive recently fillet a glamored fish? Exactly. The archive cut into his catch with that rusty old knife. The glamour was dispelled and the bleeding thing shrank. That blade's the key. Now we had it on him. Thankfully, the little fella let me borrow it for a while. Just as expected, the blade's imbued with unique dispelling magics. All told, it's quite the relic in its own right. And you reckon you can use to cut through the illusion surrounding the phantom weapon? Aye, but the Isles Aether's Vex's stuff. Nothing short of the most potent dispel magic will suffice. Which is why we'll need to enhance the blade first. I don't know if I trust the archive with a perfectly honed blade. There aren't many who'd even wager ravaging one of the world's greatest weapons with a magical blade, that's for sure. Then again, most lack the capacity for innovation. Any road will need to hone the blade to boost its dispelling properties. Don't mind what we use as long as it's a top quality kit. Blade sharpening supplies were after. I've heard nothing but the highest praise for monarch whetstones. Not to sell them in Bayside Bevy. Ancestral alloy ingots, ascendant twine, and majestic polish likewise command a good reputation. Skilled artisans should be more capable of crafting them. Though sure they could be also they could also be purchased with sufficient. Damn it, I knew it. Seeing how the rest of us are still stuck in Smashing Rocks, it falls to you again, lad. Hand over the goods when you're ready. Yes, I am aware of what I'm after. Fuck. Okay, let's go back to Tuliolol. Tell me how much a Monarch Whetstone's gonna be. This might by itself go on hold right now. This is the most expensive relic we've had to make in this game. By far. Facts. They still can't hear you, by the way. Okay, 500,000 for the Monarch Whetstone, which, being fair, is not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but still. Well, time to dump what I got. Okay. That's a good thing I keep a metric buttload of those on me. Back on you. Okay. Give me falling 500k out of the damn chest and put it back when I get it. Monarch Whetstone. That Rogan is looking pretty slick, not gonna lie. I'll do this with Sapphire after exchange. Everyone just cooled off. That's actually the best place to do this. I'll be pulling out what the money I need. I'll get past this phase. At least. It's gonna take another 500 to 600k in order to do this freaking work. If not more. Pull out $1 million more. Oh, somebody else already buy that shit? myself. You're killing me, bro. How much I take out? 1,200,000. Damn. It's probably cheaper on your server. Alright, girl. Take your shite. Water's a drop of rubber. My mind's clear, my hands are steady. Here goes. Some of the finest work to date. Razor sharp and overflowing with ink. Blade hope for the perfection of the work on those dispelling methods. What's this gonna take? You already freaking gouged my freaking wallet. What are you gouging next? My soul? Phantom Syphility. You mentioned the nice dispelling magics, but how are we supposed to go about improving them? The concept's simple enough. He takes the dispeller of some form and view the blade with it. Mine is perfectly haunted art will absorb a fair fuel to view the speller's mind. The trouble is, your average glamour dispeller ain't for the task. You need a much stronger catalyst. In that case, I suggest we utilize specialist prisms known as phantom dispellers. They ought to meet your exact requirements. I've never heard tell of such catalysts. How might they be obtained? I have found in places suffused with aether, sites of intense battle to be specific. In truth, these phantom dispellers will have manifested unseen at many of the battlefields you have fought upon. Thanks to your tenure on this isle, however, they will henceforth be detectable. Given the multi-layered nature of your weapon's illusionary endowment, my advice is to collect several varieties. Gosh damn it! A selection of phantom dispellers, alpha, beta, and I think wise theta should suffice. As ever, I'm loath to burden this with you, but I fear your talents make you the prime candidate for this endeavor. Yeah, let me scream. Just let me scream. That's a spirit. That's legit fuck. That's a spirit. I reckon 100 of those dispellers apiece will be plenty. I really do need it this time. I won't have you spirit out there for extra dispellers once you're back. I can spell and kept those little dark eyes nice. The 3 varieties of fates and the mysteries process can be obtained from fates and purples and the cold crest is North Horn. Please note that the spells cannot be obtained from cold, power, blood, or magic. They're also obtainable by completing certain duties via the duty roulette. Details about applicable duties are noted in the future. Please note that the dirt quest Phantoms to Fillet cannot be abandoned to get the dirt. Deliver 100 of each type of phantom dispeller to Geralt. My god. Now, actually that ain't too terrible. High level dungeons, trials, and armories. Question is how much do we get per run of those? Is it based on the duty or what? How does this fucking work? I'll run a test. Quest is until YOLO. Oh, Leviathan. Okay. Warrior, sir, you don't have to keep attacking the Leviathan. Problem with the railing. Okay, that's not terrible. The trial roulette gave me 5. It... Okay, it's not gonna be as bad of a grind as I thought. Alright, well, let's leave that grind alone for now. Let's go ahead and head to the North Horn. What do we have to do? I gotta go to the wall. Cult reunion. The expedition master wishes to speak to you with you. Funny you should show up now. I was just about to hand over my expedition report. With all that's happened, it's turned into quite the yarn, but perhaps you'd be willing to take a listen? Right, here goes. Plotting an eastward course for High-Tide Harbor, Captain Ram and his veteran crew set off for Shade's Triangle, resolved to uncover the mysteries of that treacherous stretch of ocean. After days of steady sailing, they had laid eyes on the occult crescent, but something strange was afoot. The isles shifted and shimmered like a mirage, confounding all attempts at approach. Just as the crew began to despair, an unknown force seized the ship, guiding it towards the island. According to daring adventurer and vaulted expedition member Cypher, this occurred moments after a strange voice rang out in his mind. Though it remains unclear, it is possible that this mystery speaker and the ship's steering force are somehow linked. Once ashore, the crew entered the Phantom Village. Here, in one of its long-abandoned structures, they made a startling discovery. A wise and much welcoming old fellow called the Archive, seemingly afflicted with the Tomboy curse. Learning of Captain Ram's plan, the Archive earnestly offered his expertise. It soon became apparent that the expertise had sealed away, the only means of recall being to hear what the adventurer saw and learned during his excursions. The mystery deepened further when Iris, a tiny familiar likely summoned by the Isle's shadowy architect, appeared out of nowhere, prompting many questions but providing few answers. For now, she seems content to observe the expedition from a distance. As the crew explored more of these strange shores, the picture of the Isle's true purpose began to take shape. By all accounts, it appears to be a repository for knowledge and monuments from the 5th Astral Era. Keep these precious relics safe, the occult crescent is surrounded by a magical wall separating it from the outside world. Similar magics are also believed to prevent the expedition's vessels leaving port. Among the island's ruins stand 2 spires, the Tower of Blood of the South Horn and its northern counterpart, the Tower of Magic. While both are considered key to unraveling the Isle's secrets, it is the latter in which the occult crescent's architect is thought to reside. An island-wide ward keeping knowledge within and interlopers without. A mysterious entity capable of wielding such magics. What will their inspire when their true identity is unveiled? Da-da. Or something along those lines. Did that sound alright to you? Huzzah! Thanks for listening. I'm sure there'll be plenty more to write about before the expedition ends. Can't help but worry about the crew, though. Hey, why don't you go and pay them a visit? No doubt you will be needed back on the Isle sooner rather than later. Excellent. I presume you'll be using the ethereal current like you usually do. Give old Kettenram my regards when you arrive. Yeah, I'm glad that's not just a MacGuffin. Like, I actually, like, glad that it's, like, kind of like a thing. It's like, yeah, you're the only one who can use that thing. Oh, yeah, Kettenram. Good to see you, Cypher. What's up, buddy? I don't blame the fellow for feeling concerned, but morale's high despite us being trapped here. I've got good news besides. We'll find a clear and a route to the door. It took some doing, mine. Scrambling across sheer cliffs, traveling upstream through raging current, rapids, wending our way through the gloomy cave before we finally reach the base of the source. We'll soon set up camp amongst the moons, and set the road establishing a path back here. Hey, road, how about we head straight to the north? You back in the fold, straight to that. Good. How about the archive though? Wait over yonder, buddy? Not definitely. Not definitely. It's Jeff Roy. We're just gonna go over there and take a look. I'm not gonna actually do stuff in Northhorn right now. I'm just gonna go over and take a look. I'm not gonna lie, Jeff Roy's hairstyle really throws me off. Not the hairstyle, but the type of green it is. Like, compared to the rest of him. It looks like he's wearing like one of those plastic wigs. It might be just because it doesn't have eyebrows, but that's a canon thing that, you know. Anyway, that said, the usual precautions apply. We're better all sticking together and route. Stop joining to the North Horn since I'm ready for the sarcophagus. I wonder what curiosities await. I shall join you. Oh! A change of heart, or perhaps new orders to help us. Dot. I will simply be observing your companion. Well, I suppose she has been keeping an eye on us the whole while. Don't see any harm in her tagging along. Jeffrey, why does your hair unsettle me? Like, I'm not even kidding. It just unsettles me. Like, that's like, it's just the type of green, it's the same green as the trees behind him almost. It's just a little brighter. It's almost like a lime. Right, we're ready to depart to stay away. I really shouldn't be focused on the hair, but it's just like... Pop. Alright, let's pop in and take a look here. To the North Horn. I'm not gonna stay there too long. What I do, I'll kind of poke around. I want to see what it looks like. So far, it looks like all Amigo area. Like the locks. Based on what I could... Ooh. Yeah, it's reminded me of the locks. Okay, not gonna lie, this area looks impressive. Yeah, I can't go even out until I talk to do this shit. Don't know, it's much to discuss with you. Our goals here are twofold. Uncover the truth of the occult crescent and ensure the crew makes it home in one piece. I reckon finding the Isle's architect is key to achieving both. Given these probably hold up in the Tower of Magic. Finding a way in should be our first order of business. For our scouts, the queens of this part of the island are a damn sight tougher than the beasts we've encountered so far. Find yourself struggling, you best head back to the South Horn for a spot of training. I should also mention the surveyors have turned up some interesting new treekins. Speak with the crew if it tickles your fancy. Oh, don't forget to attune with the Can't Aetherite while you're here. Already did. My friend, I wish I had a quick word with you. Let me know when you've completed your preparations. Well, I consider I can't do anything yet. I do want to see what they... Oh. I think these use different, Alright, new gear. Let's take a look at this. What eyeball is this? Ooh, 780. That's not bad. You know, this is probably one of the skippiest tank outfits I have seen. Ooh, you can do stuff with this one. Oh, you can go Saint Sight on this shit. That's what this reminds me of. And damn, does that look good. I don't really like... That actually dies really good. Okay. Hold on. And yeah, we got silver orbals and gold orbals, so they're different this time. I thought we discussed the soul shards, you know, those crystalline records of martial methods conceived by the 12 city-states of Eld. As you know, recall, I posited that they only function upon the island itself. Was my hypothesis correct? Part of me have wondered whether you in particular might be able to wield the shard's power beyond the board. Evidently not. In truth, I've also been pondering the reason you were summoned here in the first place. If the voice you heard belongs to the island's architect, then seeking him out in the Tower of Magic ought to provide answers on that front too. In other words, the time has come to venture forth once more. Yup. And now I gotta do the one main thing and try not to die. Cool, it's gonna be a buttload of knowledge. Back on the South Pole, the only way to the fork tower is by way of the ethereal node that appeared during those auroral mirages. Assuming a similar node exists on this part of the island, we ought to look for the structure housing. If the hunch is correct, there will be a confluence connected to the tower nearby, so keep your eyes peeled. I'll also be taking a look around myself. Don't touch via link from backward. So step 1, find the fucking entrance. Alright, now it's time to go for a little drive. This area is impressive though. Like, oh, cool. A bibliotaph is a regular mob. That actually surprises me a little bit. I won't lie. Like, it's one of the first times I've seen that dude as a mob. Crown of Carnax out there. Like, you know, monsters and shit. Broken down to like itty bitty. There it is. I legit mean that. Level 30, I better watch out. What? I better watch out. I hope I don't die. They're gonna punch me in my left eye. Holy crap, it ripped off my face. Well, it does appear to be a confluence. The floor vehicle is barely fancy. Well, it's definitely a confluence. Structure's almost identical to the one in Southport. I think it's safe to say this is where the ethereal node ought to be. Something's not quite right. Not sure if Arcane Trickery is to blame, but this pavilion's completely inert right now. No point in us pondering out here, though. Let's head back to camp and see if we can chip away at the archive seal symbol. Alright, let's keep going. Let's keep poking around. Yeah, let's reuse that, some of that old music. Counter has been spotted. I'll come back and do that in a bit. I really don't want to do them right now. That'll be a grind out later thing. I'm just kind of glad that it did, like, random ball, it did cost a lot of gil. It didn't cost more than the last one. It still cost a lot, though. And part of that was due to marketable prices. Right? Pretty much because I just, like, more or less, I just don't have the energy to grind this stuff out. Otherwise, I might do it a little bit. I also don't want to drag Pro Vampy in here. It's gonna have all of us kind of like do a thing. We gotta get past the. They're gonna get past that first part though. And that may cost a good chunk of gil. They should have it though. bumping off the wife.
Kind of sort of why I was cringing myself.
I mean, with the allowance that they get,
Yeah.
they should have put back for it. Unless they like blew it on something. The advantage of this area is a circle. I don't know if you can swim in the middle. Well, like I said, this area is about to be dead up like the locks. Now there's 25. Okay. It's a circle. I guess I'm gonna try to swim. It looks like you can swim. Holy crap, that's a lot of birds. That is a metric buttload of birds.
All right.
No, it's not alright.
Oh, are they like level 30 plus?
No, they're 23. They're just...
That could be a problem.
There is a metric absolute buttload of them, though. Like, even by my standards, even I'm like, girl, that might end very poorly.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And now you can't swim in the pond.
No.
I'll make the attempt. And you gotta take the bridge. And what I would say, if there was a bridge... Oh, I see. I see, said the blind man. No, there's a tiny little sliver of land that connects this with that. Get out of the water, buddy. You gotta use the bridge. This is the last telephone point in this area that I need to get. It's still weird to see him not mocking in buildings. Yep. Okay, that's the last one. How about we get back over to the main camp? Penrose tells me I found a confluence by the pavilion. Pray, share more details. Judging by your account, I believe the confluence does indeed connect with the Tower of Magic. However, and there goes the familiar sensation of the seal eroding. Any ideas as to why we can't use the ethereal node? Several. But let me first touch upon the Fork Towers themselves. Over 1,500 years ago, the island's architect foresaw a calamitous disaster, and thus sought to preserve all facets of all civilization here on the occult crescent. But to do so would mean storing the very knowledge that imperiled the world in a single location. Measures to prevent its misuse would be essential. Hence the ward and all the storms in the Shades Triangle. Precisely. And it is the Fork Towers that form the backbone of this approach. Now our blood to project those deadly storms, and the Tower of Magic to maintain that impenetrable wall. Both undertakings require highly advanced techniques and near constant monitoring, which is why the towers are manned. As I said before, I believe it is the architect himself who resides in the Tower of Magic. The towers are both conduits for all that magic and humble abodes for the overseers. It seems like a lot of bother just to keep one tiny hidden from prying eyes. A tiny island packed with potentially world-ending knowledge. So, you feel the same way. Either way, the Tower of Magic is a focal point of the world. All the Isle's ethereal currents converge upon it. If the confluence you discovered is indeed so greatly diminished, then we assume all is not well with the island's ether. Thus begins our next investigation. Level up. Get ready to consider your next steps. The Isle's ethereal currents are in disarray. Thankfully, the landscape here is completely different to what we saw down south. It feels warped, unnaturally. I want to investigate what caused these changes. I suggest we start by surveying multiple confluences. This should give us a clearer picture of what's happening at the ethereal level. I have in mind to accompany you on your excursion, that way I can immediately share what the seal's undoing revealed at each site. No need to pay me any heed, though. In the interest of avoiding any untimely demise at the hands of some bell fiend, I shall follow it stealthily at a safe distance. In that case, I'll stay put. Especially concentrate your search on the ruins in the area and check for any abnormalities. Yeah, we'll do this later. Okay. Time for me to get out of here. Alright, we'll pop back there later. That's a whole quest line of go here, look at thing, go back.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I mean, it's all right. I'll get it done.
I will
I'm
too.
just trying to farm some materials, and sure enough, some of it's selling.
I mean, fair would. I'm going to.
Yeah, just to try to make some of the gill. I mean, not like it really needs to. Actually, the allowance that wifey gets, actually, she gets it on Emily, not on Amy Jo. So they might ask me to change it for this year, so they can afford the relics.
Right. This is, I don't want a kid. This is the most expensive relic that we've ever had.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong.
Where are you, Inspector Hard-Boiled? I'll probably mute for the, probably mute myself for the Hildebrand stuff.
Oh, okay. Alright.
But, I will tell you what, the relic kind of makes me cry. And that's why I'm not farming that out yet either. Because I want to do it, but I also want to, you know, drag a certain somebody with us.
Well, yeah, true. I mean, it'd make it a little faster if we get 3 of us in a group and then 4 or 5 other people. Yeah. Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, because honestly, I don't think I could even grind. Because you need 100 of each of those.
Yeah.
I got like 5 from doing a trial, but I don't know if it's based on the trial or if it's, you know. That's not who I'm looking for. That's the wrong person. Ow. Darn. Hildebrand's not blue. Alright. I'm gonna mute on Discord until I'm done with this.
Okay.
Boop. Alright. Hildebrand is not blue this time around. He is just regular grass side quest. The only reason I say that threw me off this time because of the there we go. Threw me off this time because the all the other ones prior, I've been working on alt, so all the other ones prior had a blue. So. Detecting a lead. Hard-to-boil's pensive expression because of stark contrast to the frantic buzz of Trueview's neon light lit streets. Cypher, we either get back to work, I see. Reconstruct the remaining files, but found no records of monster-fled criminals. So I reckon we're clear on that front. The last data did contain, though, was plans for repairing some kind of fancy-schmancy duplication device. Said it was discovered aboard a flying vessel of unknown origin. The description of which damn near perfectly matches the shiny disc our imbecile inspector crash landed over near Yudawada. So I'm wondering, What's a gadget on that ship like that used? What a gadget on a ship like that used to duplicate? Flashback. Anything? Even people? Oh, that ain't good. See, the files mentioned 3 critical materials: electro, ceruleum, and meteorites. Sound familiar? It's the same stuff our fusion has already nicked. They got what they need to fix the device, so I'm sweating bullets imagining what they mean to do with it. Problem is, we squeeze those salvage files dry of every last juicy lead. Can't even begin where Kishkai and Carnelian might be holed up. For all we know, they've already moved on to the next step of their diabolical scheme. It's time we pump a new source of information, and I know just a nosy bugger that'll do. Let's play Visitor Mimant. You may recall my mere presence seemed to anger the detective when last our paths crossed. So we've taken to disguising ourselves as ordinary citizens. I'm looking pretty clean. Our independent investigation otherwise continues unabated. Nashu has, in fact, identified a new potential avenue of inquiry. I've noticed there's an oglot that never strays far from Detective Partible's side, and I suspect this persistent insect is much more than it appears. I share your suspicions. We could be dealing with another creature possessed with a transferred criminal soul. Perhaps we sent a spy on the detective. Doesn't feel like spying, more like it's watching over him. Whatever the Oglop's intentions, we must continue to surveil this ever-present surveiller. It may prove crucial to cracking the case. It's his assistant. It's been kind of obvious. Well, it hasn't been obvious, but it eventually kind of became obvious over time. The assistant he has long since believed dead, etc., etc. It is the Oglop. Lord Keshkal's always hatched his master plan. Let's not mourn our own chickens before we heard what Mimant had to say. Back again. What can I do for you this time? Got an odd question for you. A device that could duplicate anything, eh? In wrong hands, that could lead to all kinds of mischief. Haven't heard a peep about alien gadgets, but there was something else that might interest you. Rumor has it some half-dead bloke dressed like a lab worker was rescued out and Heritage found. You reckon that could be our Vision Keskiel? Could be. You'd have to talk with Sir Cassian to hurt the hunter who found the poor bugger. Apparently he brought him back to his home in the outskirts. Half-dead lab rat who he thinks is. I wonder if Carnelia must have... Thanks for the tip, Mimid. Well, partner, looks like we're headed to the outskirts. Let's find this Cersei fella. And we shall follow wheresoever the Ogloff leads us. There goes those two. They were actually hidden. I didn't even see them. And there goes the little freaking dude that man followed Nashu to the freaking ends of the earth. Oh, and the detective's older twin is stalking him, right? He's trying to stay out of sight. He's doing a terrible job of it. Alright, Heritage found. Heritage found. Alright. Oh, of course. I'd be happy to share the tale. The glowing monster on the fringes of Everkeep, an air wielder wobbling through the skies caught my attention. So erratic was its flight path that I half expected it to crash into the ground, which it did not far from where I was standing. I run over to see a man crawl free from the wreckage and collapse. His mask and gloves marking him a lab technician of some kind. The air wheeler hadn't exploded or burst into flames. He looked terribly burned. I was able to rush him home and administer treatment before he had succumbed to his injuries. Potent medicines have put him in a deep slumber, so I'm afraid he is in no state to answer questions. As for his name, I found an identification card tucked into one of his pockets. Assuming it belonged to him, the man is Keskiel, a researcher from a local facility. That figures. And those burns, knowing Carleon's preference for fire magic, said whether he's a dozen hard-boiled eggs that he's to blame. Mook dubbed the Crime King is not the type to play a little henchman for long. Probably turned on his boss and took over the whole operation. We'll have to wait until Keskiel wakes up to get the whole story. But in the meantime, I'd rather be doing something useful. I say we head outside and consider our options. Appreciate you sharing, Xerxene. Keskiel is a criminal involved in the case we're investigating, so we'll be imposing upon your hospitality again soon. Criminal, you say? Well, he won't be committing any crimes in his condition. I'll be sure to get word to you once he's fit enough for you to interrogate. The man had a secret, but didn't expect him to be a hardened criminal. In any case, I'll let the detective know as soon as this Keskiel awakens. The scaling of the door is kind of weird. Like, I figured the door would be bigger than that. That's like, okay, that's about the width of a normal, you know, person, but even still. Like a Rogan would have to, like, squeeze through the door. doubt Cardelia would have humored his boss for so long unless he had an endgame in mind. And considering his betrayal... There they are over there. And considering his betrayal came just as they acquired everything to fix the duplication gadget... I really need to finish this sentence. I love that option. Probably after the device all along. That's what I'm thinking, but I'm assuming we're right. What does he mean to use it for? Well, we're going to answer that question while Keshkiel is still in Dreamland. His old pal of Cardelia's might have an insight or two. He's part of his gang back in the day, but he insists she's on the straight and narrow now, working as a fortune teller out of a shop in Solution 9. Sarala, the girl at the front desk, handles all of her appointments. There goes the Oglot. Quickly, let us not lose sight of the Oglot. Alright, let's go back to Solution 9. I would have to question if she was in the government sector. Then again, this day and age. This was the shop I was telling you about. Sarala, they're on the wave us through. It looks like she's with a client at the moment. This establishment caters to lost souls seeking their true path. Due to high demand, however, I'm afraid we're completely booked for the coming months. We're not interested in your dubious divinations. You can just tell little Cassia that a hard-boiled is here to see her. Very well, one moment, please. What do you want, hardhead? I paid my debt to society. You're interfering with the legitimate business of an upstanding citizen. Says the woman who's Cardelian's most prized sorcerer charlatan. I'll wager there's only fortune to be found here with one making off gullible marks. Don't you dare lump me in with that double-crossing snake. It was his fault I went to prison, and I've been done with the underworld ever since. My establishment is entirely above board. Alright. Don't get your robes in a twist. It's Cardelia I want to ask about anyhow. I'll spare you the whole messy story, so let's get down to brass tacks. Imagine there's a gizmo that could replicate any personal object in the world. What would you reckon a no-good crook like Cardelia would do if he got his hands on something like that? What kind of addle-brained... How should I know? The only thing Cardelia ever wanted was power. No matter how much he got, it was never enough. Seems his ancestor, the one they called the Lich, created the ultimate spell, and it eats him up that he's never had the arcane strength to cast it. The ancestral spell he hasn't got the juice for, huh? How would a duplication gizmo help him with that? Not my area of expertise, though I suppose you could search the public database and read up on the Lich, if you're so inclined. Fair enough. Try our luck with the turbines and commerce sector. Much obliged, Cassia. All the way on the other side. To the Nexus Arcade. Meow. Why can't I drive my car down the street? This is it. This is one of those. It's kind of like a shopping mall area. These terminals are connected to Alexandria's public database, so you can use them all to learn all sort of neat stuff. Let's see what I can dig up on this Lich character. You know, I reckon you could look into what makes Cloth so special. Kishkel's other flunkies didn't get choice of monster, but when it came to Carly, and it seems the Crime King specifically requested the Clot as a vestige for his soul. He was keen on the powers of mimicry, but now I'm wondering if there is something more. Anyway, see what you can find. Terminal monitor displays an entry on the monsters known as Clots. Clots. These amorphous organisms inhabit dense jungle environments and demonstrate an extraordinary capability for physical mimicry. When threatened, the Clot will either mirror the threat itself or adopt a more intimidating form. Clots could also fuse with others of their species, and there are reported cases of multiple Clots merging into a single gigantic entity possessed of immense magical power. Ow. Oh. Well, no surprise from the bloodline that produced a maniac like Carnelian. Turns out this Lich guy is a real piece of work. The entry I read said he used sorcery to raise the dead and bind the dead to his will. Created an unstoppable spell that immediately snuffed out the life of any target. Oh, and that he used necromancy to turn himself into a living corpse. That allowed him to keep amassing dark powers over a period far beyond a normal person's lifespan, which was a thing that earned him the Lich moniker. Too many years of nefarious undeading, though, and the people came together to off him permanently. You know, Mauricio, my assistant, was killed by a spell I'd never seen before. And I reckon Cornelian took a page from his ancestors' book of necromancy to animate those poor bastards at Conecula Corpus. How did your research go, by the way? Learn anything useful? Multiple Clots could merge together to make one humongous blob that wields all their magical power combined. That explains everything. Cornelia means to create a bunch of Crime King copies and fuse into one big murderous mook. You and me are going to wreck those plans and avenge Norishu's death once and for all. Do you want to loop Hildebrand in on this? Yeah, I've seen him hanging around like a bad spell, but when it comes to exacting vengeance, that well-meaning dope will only get in the way. Besides, Carnelian is more dangerous than he's ever been. I won't give him a chance to hurt anyone else. Why are you so bullheaded about me being pals with the Inspector anyway? You share the same soul. You make a good team. Man, the soft-boiled gentleman. Give me a break. Still, there's always been something weirdly familiar about that guy. Yeah, what you got? Uh-huh. Alright. Be there soon. That was so thirsty they tell us come over. Cash cows, wake it up. Woke it up. So I've been thinking, Cypro, what if the Oglop we keep seeing is actually Norishu? The detective was talking about his sisters. I swear the insect had the saddest looks on his little face. Come now, Nashu. You heard as well as I did. She perished by Cordelia's hand. Well, instead of dying, her soul was shunted into Oglop body the same way the fugitives were stuffed into fiendish forms. I suppose it's possible. Nashu does have an uncanny sense for such things. But how can we not dismiss the idea out of hand? When we explore the possibility, we might begin chatting with the researcher zombie whom my gentle dead man acquaintance befriended. Pray, continue your investigation alongside Detective Hartable, and we shall contact you the moment we learn all of substance. Yeah, this has been kind of a little interesting because, you know, usually the Hildebrand was sticking around with us for a while. Usually be around the whole thing, but it's just kind of like, now it's kind of like, okay, now you're kind of off doing your own thing while also, you know, crisscrossing. Wait, Alpha? That. There's Alpha and Omega. Yeah. That's funny. Alright, let's head to the outskirts again. Light, Chief, and get lost on the way or what? This gets some problems and explosive end, and I hate for you to miss it. Plotted crime. Hartle's eyes are alight with anticipation and nose well set on his quarry. Right, let's head inside and see what Keshkamel has to say for himself. Still wear the mask. Well, Mastermind, what happened to you? The duplication device was restored. I had all that I had required to build my genius army. Mere moments before I began to replicate myself, my brilliant self unmasked, the damnable curve burned the hand that freed him. Good as it was by Carnelian sorcery, it's a miracle I managed to escape at all. But of my ambitions, not survives but smoke and ashes. I want you to make him pay. You'll find the device in the hidden lab at the lowest level of the Canicula Corpus. If Carnelian's aim is mass self-replication, that's where he must be. It'll take time for the alien technology to do its work. Trying to tame a vicious breed like the Crime King was a gamble, and you lost. But lucky for you, I was planning to bring him down anyway. Looks like I called how things played out, more or less. Didn't twig that Cornelia would hold up in the lab right beneath our nose, though. And this sorry sod over the authorities as soon as he's able to walk. Might put up a fight, but it doubt be much of a challenge for a strapping hunter like yourself. Welcome to try. Don't worry, I'll be sure to see him into custody. We know where Cardelia is now, and I'm ready to charge in guns blazing. But first I want to pay my respects at Norish's grave. Burying dead is a custom in Alexandria, and Norshu and I were never comfortable with the whole regulator deal. And I'll be damned if I was gonna forget, and putting her to rest was a way of honoring her memory. Night's has been in the shop, so I'll head over and pick him up. Go ahead to the name slates, I'll meet you there. Turns out the grave's been dug up. We're on the other side of the wall. We're on the other side of the wall. That is actually a bit far. Okay, how about we fly over there? Keeps having to try to fly over the wall. Yeah, solo duty. Interesting. Surprise, it's me again. Got a letter for you from a detective. Right, that's my business done. Time to go pry into someone else's. Sorry for the change of plans, Cypher, but I need to handle Cardelia alone. Help me out, time and again, I ain't risking letting you risk your life for my personal vendetta. Put the crime queen in the ground where he belongs. You just sit tight and wait for the good news. The most astonishing fact. The new researcher recruit of our gentle dead friend here spoke of the lady he had seen on the lowest level of conduct of the corpus. The lady who could very well be Norshu. His eyes are moving in a capsule of some kind, but it looks as she dreams in peaceful slumber. He then made for the Circe's house to demand the truth from Keshikov. Dylan goes soon with an expert interrogation made him transferring Norishal's soul from a captive vessel into an Oglop shell. What is Detective Hardboiled, by the way? I want so badly to let him know his assistant is alive and well. Well, mostly. Seeking vengeance on his own, you say? This calls for the utmost haste. And he's gone. Meow. Wait for me, Inspector. We should shamble along as well. Ah. Meanwhile, in the hidden depths of the Canucula Corpus. That's a sickening sight. One bloodstained Crying King was already too much. I don't recall sending an invitation hard-boiled. No matter, but I'm afforded the chance to test my newfound strength. Oof. Days later called you handsome once, but you might want to check a beer. I can feel it surging through me, the nigh unlimited power. Behold the majestic form of the Lich. Let us begin with a demonstration of my ancestors' dominion over the undead. Great, this keeps getting creepier. This battle you'll be playing as hard-boiled. Dodge action. Palpatine uses multi-python to avoid taking damage, even if you're within the area of an enemy's attack. Certain enemy attacks will be preceded by a countdown icon. With this countdown progresses to the multi-python icon, quickly use the multi-python. Okay. Pulp Vision. The Tifa outfit isn't here yet, Zed. Also, welcome in. Oh, how rude of me should have raised no issue as well. My living minions tear that man apart. Let's all remember to comport ourselves in a gentlemanly manner, everyone. What just happened? That's valid. Forcing our zombie brothers to act against their will is simply unconscionable. While I do not condemn violence, the situation appears beyond a peaceful resolution. Allow me to assist. Soft-boiled savior in hell. Thanks, pal. How dare you interfere? I'll kill you both. Three, two. I didn't need to talk for that one. Seemed pretty escapable, my dude. Hit that. Don't fool the face. What's that? I love it. Nice try, nerd. Three, two, one. That one. I dodged a little bit too late on that one. Supposed to be able to use that little mover. It feels like a really ping dependent thing. Who is that foppish imbecile? The perfect crime. That's Hildebrandt, he'll be fine. Oh. This one's for Narishu. Hold your fire, Detective. Your assistant is alive. What did you say? I warned you about being soft-hearted, boiled. Will you never learn? I wanted to save such exquisite magecraft for more fitting victims, but now you clods will witness the ultimate spell firsthand. With holy power drawn from the darkest abyss, I shall sever soul from corporeal anchor. Death! Oh shit, man down. That says something with Hildebrand. Oh, I've died. How unmandavillian. That would be the first thing. Ah, I've slain the dolt instead. Though I'm glad to be rid of that most bothersome debt. Is that Hildebrand's ghost? Oh, such bittersweet sorrow. The soul should dissipate soon after leaving the flesh. But no, a resilient zombie lord endures in spectral form. Hello? This battle isn't over. My turn. With your entire entourage of fools, you cannot contest our power combined. Master Zombie's spirit expressions emerge with Master Hardible's physical form. It's brilliant. It's blinding. It's a pure gold soul. Some Yakuza level stuff right now. This changes nothing. Dashu just falls done. Horrible. It cannot be. Horrible is not here right now. great. Call us Hildebrand, and your goose is cooked. My dear fellow. There comes the suplex. No evil can stand against a giant golden Vanderbilt man. Cinema. Exactly. Yes, you've led the tree that your precious nourishment would never let die. I shall need a subject for soul transference experiments, and the task of procuring the victim fell to me. Your name, Hardboiled, was at the top of my hit list. I drew upon ancestral sources to cast you into a death-like sleep for ease of delivery, you understand. Then your meddling assistant threw herself in the spell's path, and I was forced to settle for her instead. I had to dig up Nashu's corpse following the burial and then proffer her to the Keshko in place of your sorry hide. So it was her soul that ended up in the insect vessel. You bastard! You did that knowing how much I hate Oglops. Now, let us remain civilized. The process is entirely reversible. Oh dear, my apologies, but I feel the draw of an irresistible force. Oh, that's right. Master Zombie Bread has died, and to his untethered soul comes the call. See you on the other side, my friends. Don't leave me behind, Inspector. Look, his body's still breathing. We gotta drag that soft-boiled soul back. I wrote that simpleton with enough ultimate death magic to kill him 10 times over. There is no coming back. Perform the Vanderbilt. Do it. Hey now, whoa, hey now, don't tell me you got it cracked. Do the Vanderbilt. You get your butt back here. Oh, I say. Thanks to that stirring performance by my adventurous associate, I, Hildebrand, agent of the quality, inspectors extraordinaire, have returned to life and am back on the case. But you can't. It's not possible. The face. Toughest guy I ever saw. Now, what was that about fixing the issue? Did you really get her back to normal? Your assistant's recovered form is being held within this very facility. We need but extract her soul from the Oglop and reunite it with her original body. I had a Cascal. Fucking Carnelian over there. Carnelian. That Cascal provide me. Let me just use that one more time. Provide me with a step-by-step procedure for operating the transfer apparatus. It should pose no great difficulty to restore Mistress and nourish you ourselves. Done. The rest of us should wait at the entrance then. That face. Inspector's unstoppable. Even ultimate death magic failed to slay him. Never mind those other fiends. The adult was the true monster. You know what? It stinks in here. Let's head outside. Detective Hardboiled. Hey, Dollface, you're looking well. Hi, I'm Norishu. Thank you forever so much for putting me back in my own body. The resemblance to Nashu is, as you say, uncanny. Right? Like peas in a pod, I tell ya. Right, I've had my fill of musty old labs. Time to blow this joint. Hey, who said you could ride the stallion? Really, surely once we fellows such as ourselves are above customary formalities, such as asking for permission. And it explodes and launch of the brand. Wait for it. Watch the lightning, the chassis can't take a direct hit. That man just got back to the future. Wait for me. Gosh, that looked dangerous. Yeah, he'll be fine. That's a nice sight I'm worried about. I just had him repaired. What did I lose to such idiots? Am I dreaming? Surely this is a nightmare. I'll deliver Mr. Lots of Clots around here to the Tin Man. You can head back to North to my place in Solution Dot. I shall re-enter the facility to recruit the remaining zombies. I bid you gentle people a good day. Behind that rubbish receptacle is where I would hide and keep watch over the detective. It was surprisingly fun living as an Oglop, but boy am I glad to be back in my own body. That makes two of us. Couldn't imagine having one of those creepers as an assistant. I went and handed Cornelian over to the authorities. They'll restore him and all of his monstrous pals to their original mook selves and toss him in the slammer. In other words, that's all she wrote in the case of the fiendish fugitives. You're a handy fellow to have around, Cypro. Thanks for sticking with me through thick and thin. I made her a replica of the Night Stallion. It doesn't have the same customizations, but still runs plenty fast. Use this key when you're ready to ride. Nice. I have a gift for you too, of sorts. I made lots of friends while I was Oglopped, and one of the little fellows has big dreams of traveling the world. So I guess get an Oglop engine. Take him along on your adventures. He'll be fantastic company. My own Oglop buddy. Look at you embracing danger. I told you those tiny devils are the harbingers of death and disease. Oh, there's no such thing. Oglops are harmless, not to be as cute as a chitness button. Right. Well, it's your funeral. Keep it where you can see it or stow it away in your bag. Speaking of companions, I wonder where that gentleman Fop and Nashu disappeared to. Not that I'm worried or anything, but I owe them a tip of my hat at the very least. Anyhow, Nourishu and me are going to get back to running our detective agency here in Solution 9. Hopefully we'll cross paths again on some other case. Time together in the great alleyway of life was brief but golden, like the richest, yellowest of yolk. See you around, Sakura. Pulpler, Quarry, Oglop, and Night Stallion activation key. Nice. Nice. With the completion of inconceivably familiar Hildebrand adventures, you can now exchange MGP for new orchestration roles by speaking with the Gold Saucer attendant of the Gold Saucer. Another one? This trail has evaporated like a mist in the neon haze. City carried on uncaring. Fell into a further familiar humdrum rhythm. Our world gone curiously quiet. There was a gnawing absence of irritating yet endearing whimsy. And that's life, ain't it? No such thing as a perfect egg. Let me leave you with a few words of wisdom. If it ain't tough, it ain't bold enough. But sometimes a man needs to be gentle. Who are you talking to, detective? Hildebrand will return? Question mark. That was good. I enjoyed that. Alright, now we got another. Yeah, we gotta go to the Gold Saucer. Dang it. I wasn't kind of cattywampus there. Let's see what the new orchestration is. Music versions. Yeah, Final Fantasy 9. Battle 2 orchestration. Oh, nice. Night Stallion activation. Okay, let's take a look at the Night Stallion mount real quick. Let's go to like more down will work. No, no. Night Stallion. The Night Stallion represents part of the world's beloved air wheeler, the only appearance. For the protected vehicle is tuned to produce so much power to be dangerous in the hands of anybody himself. Putting this model is factory stock, making it far more manageable. Okay. These are custom jobs built for yours truly. Huh? Nice. That is pretty sick, not gonna lie. I already like this over the other air wheeler. Okay. Alright. Now it is time to do the Allied Society. Where do we go for that? I'll have to double check the patch notes on that one. That's 7.5. I'm looking for 7.55. Topics. 7.55. 7.55. Where do we gotta go for the Allied Society quest? Tuliolol. Let's go back to Tuliolol. What's it called? Born to Roll. Over about our school next quarter. There he is. Holly wears a tired but fulfilled expression on her face. Boy, if it isn't our special advisor, but please know that business is booming at the Torali Travel Agency. I scarcely have time to rest my feathers, in fact. But what about you, Cypro? How goes your adventuring profession? Oh, in the middle of a grand quest as we speak. I'm glad to hear you keep me busy. As the agency's reputation grows, we find ourselves with more and more customers from distant lands. It's quite the challenge catering experiences for each of them. Ah, that reminds me. Obokesta said he wished to discuss a certain matter with you. If you have a moment, could you stop by the eatery? Yeah, sure, why not? He and Liplu must be part of the new plan they're cooking up. Now I should go and greet our newest arrivals. It's always a pleasure to see you, Cypro. Alright, so Dr. Webb. So for now, it might be best for you to start preparing the ingredients. Can you manage? It might end up being quite the guest list. More the merrier. Speaking of which, the guest of honor graces us with his presence. Been keeping busy, Cypher. Yep. Well, hello, Cypher. What brings you to the Turali Travel Agency this day? I see. Well, it's fortunate for you. It was fortunate you ran into Sahali. There is indeed a certain matter we'd like to discuss with you. You see, we've heard from customers and fellow merchants about recent developments in both Orkapata and Mabuk. It seems both settlements have been revitalized by ambitious new ventures. Apparently, these endeavors flourished thanks in part to the tireless contributions of a lone traveler, whose many skills helped pave the way from shaking beginnings to steadfast success. As I heard more and more of these stories, I am certain of who this lone traveler was. I believe he now stands before me now, in fact. We help them out, we help the giants out, we help these guys out. Each experience brought me closer to Ral's people. I knew it! I could imagine no one else that I heard of the traveler's many selfless feats. Glad to know it was you. Now, I'm certain you're the right man for the real task I need help with. Do you mind delivering 2 missives for me? I'm hoping to reach out to people in charge of these new ventures at... There are Goltath, the Open Armed, and Golma, if I remember correctly. It's not simple, though. Planning to propose a little joint venture is all. For now, though, we have to keep the details close to the chest. Sorry for the secrecy, but we believe me when I say it'll benefit everyone involved. You gotta rebuild the stairs, right? I knew we could count on you, Cypher. I suppose it only makes sense to visit the closer destination first. The Ziggurat have the open out. While you're taking care of that, we'll be about our own preparations. Farewell for now. Okay. Need to go to Warlord Sector. Oh, Cypher, it's good to see you again. Have you come to lend a hand? I have mail. A letter from the Turali Travel Agency. Let me see. Ah, yes. Cypher, have you by chance read this letter? Oh, I thought so. Then I shall keep the surprise. Say, I meant that it will come as a surprise when Lipley considers you her special advisor. No? I suppose there's no need for you to read the letter after all. Certainly not. In any case, I think I shall read the last of the letter together with the Voyager. In the meantime, you should go speak with Ryokyo Terte. The spirits ask daily when you would come and play with them. They will be overjoyed to see you. Do. Hey, look, Doppler. Look, the crafting weather has come. Cypher has come. Indeed he has. Here to play with the spirit, Cypher? Royal Tetra's joy reflects my own. It's always an honor to meet with a hero of your pedigree. The hands can always use the aid of one such as you. You deliver a letter from Torelli Travel Agency. They've become the talk of Torelli's late, and you say you're their special advisor? You do get around, don't you? Yet you have not read this letter yourself. Curious, given the agency's purpose, perhaps they intend to cooperate with the Yokoi to attract more sightseers to this place. If that's okay, sure that they would have come themselves. I recall the concern is being managed by the self-same siblings who oversaw the Apocalypse betting emporium. And I know they prefer face-to-face business dealings. That being said... the lion's share of the restoration work finished, many of the artists are eager to start their next project. Such a proposal could provide that opportunity and breathe even more life into Urkopacha. We know not what business and project mean. Are you saying more little people like you will come? Well, it's too soon to say for certain. If that were the case, however, would you greet them happily? We would. More people means more friends to play with. Together we can remember all the friends who came before. Oh-ho. I see even the spirits have taken to the Yokoi way of thinking. Nothing could make me happier. If we play more, the more snow will fall. The frost blooms will blossom, and everyone will smile. Waterfall will smile too, yes? Most certainly. I knew it. Can we play now, Crafty One? I don't think you refuse, nor do you wish to. We have pressing matters to attend to ourselves, so it's simply impossible to deny Rio Portetra. To be honest, the two of them have been hard-pressed to keep up with the spirits during their games. With you on your side, perhaps the odds will even out. Less talking, more playing! That was so much fun. Thank you, Crafty One. I'm positively drenched, but so long as Record Tetra is satisfied, I am glad that I risk a little frostbite. Well played, everyone. For all that, perhaps some time to warm up and rest would be well advised. Well, for certainly I've read the letter by now, so why don't you return to shelter? Okay. Come back again, Crafty One. We'll be waiting. Yep, I gotta go to another world. I'll talk to y'all later. I can tell by the stone enclosure indulges the spirit's playful whims. I hope you do look forward to visiting us as much as we look forward to welcoming you. Now, I believe I kept you waiting long enough. You're curious about the letter, yes? Lip Blue wrote over plans for the future. It sounds marvelous, so could you please tell her I'd be honored to be part of it? Unfortunately, I'm unable to share any more than that. While your curiosity must be eating away at you, rest assured everything will be made clear soon enough. Judging by what I read, it seems your next destination is Golma and Mamuk. May your travels be swift. Excuse me. As for myself, preparations must be laid for Lip Blue's endeavor. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Please rebuild the stairs. Rebuild the stairs. That's gonna drive me nuts if they don't. That's been driving me nuts this entire expansion. the one thing I'm really hoping they actually go through and do. Like, it was destroyed recently in a storm. That just means much of the material should still be okay. Hello, Cypher. Come to see how we're getting along. Goma is more prosperous than ever, I'm glad to say. As joining the Torali Agricultural Association, we've gained more and more customers from outside Mamuk. We've even arranged a trial partnership with our crops to be used in a taco shop. I went to Tulial to deliver them. I heard some relatives of mine were returning to Mamuk for a visit. They're eager to see what changes come to the city. Apparently they're bringing new younglings, so we're arranging to have them ride on a branch bearer. Bird-Eye's view of the graders should leave a positive impression. That's about it for what's new around here. How things have been with you, Cypher? Later. A letter, you say? Let me have a look. The Torali Travel Agency. I've heard people talk of the capital. Wait, you're their special advisor. You do have friends everywhere, don't you? What else is in this letter? Let's see. I think Agnew should read this as well. Oh, while we're doing that, why don't you pay a visit to the kitchen? The Yacht Row is helping Bolsate prepare a new dish. Global Job should be around too. I think they'd be all glad to see you. Once we've read the letter, we'll all meet you at the kitchen. Until then. Is that Cypher? You've come just in time. Old Bolt said he's been struck with inspiration and whipped us up a delicious new dish. Well, I heard a few former Mamuk residents were returning from Tuliolo. I sensed an opportunity to use my cooking to show them how much their old home has changed, and the culinary wheels began to turn. And besides, while Tika Salva deserves a reputation among visitors, we mustn't rest on our laurels as artisans. Buljot and others poured their sweat and tears into the grenier, and our relations with the Zabral have at last started to improve. The Outrow and the other hunters can visit without fear of menacing stares or harsh words. Mook has changed. The entirety of Yaktel has changed. For the better, of course, but not everyone knows this, and it's our job to spread the good tidings. According to Rubalzal, while our crops are improving popular among those outside the canopies, people are still wary to step foot within Yaktel. Mook had a reputation as an impossible place for so long that many treated this fact. Even I refused to believe the change until I saw it with my own eyes. But your food will get people thinking differently. They won't just hear about the change, they'll taste it. I would gladly volunteer for any flavor testing you might need. I would have you sample my work as well. My newest creation is called Mux 10, meaning Florence Radiance in our tongue. I deep fried the shining nagul peels and placed them at the top of hearty soup. Apologies, wait. I must say your friend Lipu certainly has some interesting ideas. After discussing with Agnew, we decided to help him bring them to fruition. We plan to begin preparations once, but wanted to first confirm that the event is being held at Arkapacha. Oh, you don't know? But if you aren't there, then... Well, job, perhaps it's best to leave this matter be for now. Just kind of crossed the finish line there. For the time being, we tell Blip we'll happily take part in our plan. hope to see you again, Cypher. I could talk cooking with you until the sun sets and rises again. I could barely believe the stories of the meals you've eaten. Please, you have to tell us more about the world's food next time. After what I was saying before, we'll handle that ourselves. Give Blue our regards, Cypher. Okay. What are you all planning? Suspicious. Better be fixing those stairs. Returned at last. So how was everyone? Did they have positive things about my letter? They did. Well, that's a huge relief. Not that I doubted you for a moment, but the readiness to agree to my proposal shows just how hard you worked for their benefit. There's something else I was curious about. How have your friends been faring since becoming established? Well, I hope. They managed to find their footing and walk their own path. Oh, that's good to hear. They've reached a milestone with your help, but I have the wherewithal to forge a future with their own hands. Much like we're doing here. The news is heartening indeed. And now that everything is settled, the true work begins. Ow. Ah! I'm gonna take this off. Oh! I like that. What's weird is it's only a single die channel. I'll probably dye it orange. I like that though. That's on sash though. I'm not even gonna do that. I can rock that. I want to thank you for delivering those letters, bro. I'll also offer my apologies for sending you hither and thither for such a minor task. No doubt your feet ache and your back cries out for respite. I've had longer tracks. As expected, your adventure of your caliber, you're positively indefatigable. Still, you did walk quite the distance, so I encourage you to take some time off and the rest of our guest logics. Come to think of it, despite all the trials and tribulations you've endured for our sake, I don't believe you had the chance to stay with us. So how about it? Sure, why not? Good, good. I anticipated you might agree to my suggestion, so your chamber's being prepared as we speak. Once I'm ready, I'll let Genohanu let you know. Shouldn't be long, but please make yourself at home in the meantime. The black. Oh, is that? Cypher, is that you? Hey, it's that guy. Thought so. It's been so long. I'm not sure if you remember me, but it's Fonjidane of the Potswold. It's happy to greet you here of all places. Have you come for crafty tasks? Your logic here? Good for you. You always seem so busy. It's heartening to know you have the time to recuperate. You're here on delivery. Vegetane's crafting goods have proven very popular as of late. Fortunately for me, customers have made the evening journey all the way to try to purchase them. I feel blessed that anyone who goes to so much trouble for my work. You played no small part in guiding me upon this path, Sarfro, and for that I thank you. Slowly but surely, I've overcome the impulse to compare myself to others, and become content simply to know my crafts bring joy to so many. Seeds of change were planted that day I met you and Wolf Lamont, and every day since then I have become more certain that coming to Terral was the right choice. But you cannot let success make you lazy. The life of an artist is one of constant improvement. And you're inspired with new ideas, quick to help Red Rock at once. That way you always know what to do for your crafty work. Since our business here is finished, it's about time we return to Earthenshire. Rest well, Cypher, and may we meet again. Alright, Gato Hana. Good boy. Most hearty welcome to our special advisor. If you're ready to see your room, allow me to guide you. This minute, attending to one such as you is quite the emotional experience. We value you so much, and we aren't the only ones. Recently, we had a customer visit from distant Alexandria. Apparently, they had taken some part of some sort of martial competition there, and they told us about the various troubles that have recently befallen the nation. Because you and your companions have saw them through those dark times. When I heard that our special advisor was risking life and limb for the sake of others, I was worried, but I was also in awe. You can lie freely and noble as that, and at least we can do is offer you a place of respite from your trials. It is an honor, in fact. Ah, but here I go rambling again. Please allow me to show you to your room. Please make yourself at home. If there's anything you need, anything at all, you need only ask. But before I go, Lipu said that Wakasa wished to speak with you. If you have a moment, could you visit the eatery later? Until then, please enjoy your stay. I expect to hear the smile song. Baby. Well, this is a surprise. Come to visit old friend, Cypher. Who could forget to sell you? You're travel agency's first customer. Glad you remember. I suppose you would remember how much trouble went to ensure that most of us had an unforgettable experience. I take it you finally found time to relax. I've become quite fond of this place myself, and since my first tour I've arranged several more devoted entirely to fishing. And since fate has brought us together again, there's something I've wanted to tell you ever since our last meeting. Surely you've noticed the effect your actions have had on Terral. Long-standing issues that once gripped our nation now seem manageable. Change set in motion more than 80 years ago, when Gulul Jaja stemmed the complex plaguing the continent and founded Tuliolal. His land guard made the road safe, and people could move more freely than ever before. But with the Pelopel given the mercantile range, wares of all sorts flowed across Terral. But even so, its various peoples remained in their ancestral lands, following their established customs. The capital remained fundamentally separate. However, Gulul Jaja had no intention of changing that. He understood that it would take time for a single nation of Toral to coalesce, and he entrusted the next generation to see it realized. With the succession of the new Dawn Servants, the new generation has come, and the Torelli Travel Agency is one of many enterprises shaping our home. Are you aided of some few of them, in fact? People will have more chances to explore unfamiliar lands, more chances for mutual exchange. And as we come to know better know our neighbors, we will come to learn to come together as a nation and step forth into a brighter future. I hadn't given it that much thought. I see. We really do what comes naturally, lending a helping hand to those in need. I think action that comes so naturally that you would help revitalize the whole nation and the people who live within it. Such selflessness is truly moving. I'm grateful for your journey across Torel and for lending your strength to those you met. The Ring of Reflections shall do its utmost to ride these favorable winds as far as we can. Now, I believe I've taken up enough of your time, Cypro. Rest well. The fact that we actually have an opportunity to rest, that's something. Time passes to reflect upon the countless adventures that brought you to this moment. Yeah, we actually got the actual in-rest theme. After a lengthy reverie, you recall that Robokeska wishes to speak with you. Perhaps he's still about the eatery. Still at the eatery. The eatery's here. What'd you need, bud? Greetings, Cypro. I hope you're able to take a bite off things for a bit. Yeah, your face says it all. I cooked a little something for you. I put my heart and soul into it, so you best hurry to your destination before it gets cold. Expect to be sent off so soon, did you? Lupus waiting for you at the Panapello retreat in Urkapachi. Some hot springs run by another Pella, as I understand. One thing before you go. I'll come out and say it. Back when the third promised all that kidnapping and whatnot, well, things weren't looking too bright after we ran into you. Of course, you were only doing right by your allies. We've never taken such a beating as you gave, nor been hounded so relentlessly afterwards. You were scared to death. But when I saw you again, I was certain my final day had come. But instead, I get up at full making food I love and watching customers enjoy it. My old crew and I are even earning an honest wage. Not bad for a bunch of former ne'er-do-wells. Not bad at all. Past crimes forgiven and our apologies taken at face value. All the grace of you and Liquid. You built a debt of gratitude we can never repay. Still, maybe this meal will go some small ways of evening the scales. Best be off to Urkapachi, Cypro. Like, this has been kind of like, it feels like a combination of like everything we've done in Dawn Trail. And also kind of like, it kind of feels like the combo wrap-up plus the, everything with the, This will wrap up with the beast drive. There we go. Peace. I'll get the words out eventually. Okay, cool. Everybody's here. This proposal was too enticing to deny. Yeah, as excited as we all are, I have a feeling you'll be having the most fun. Finally here, Cypher. When the other stresses succumbed to Urkapacha, I jumped at the chance to see a new locale. It hasn't disappointed so far. Well, we meet again. Well, I'd love to catch up. You should speak with me first. You organize this whole affair after all. North Laura and I volunteered to guide local jobs as companions, and the others got tell. They're splendid traveling companions. Overall told us about the plan, and we offer our assistance most eagerly. Who would pass up an opportunity for a dip in these hot springs after all? There you are, Cypher. We've been waiting for you. Did you bring the food Walla Castle made? That's one of the heroes' day off. Stock will contain more food than any one person could eat. Although tantalizing aromas often can make the idea hard to resist. Good, good. Thank you for carrying it all this way. Now, shall we begin? On behalf of those who have worked toward the betterment of Yogg-Toral, I'd like to welcome the guest of honor. You! Terribly sorry for keeping everything so secretive. I worried you might shy away from attending this party if you knew what we were about. I had a feeling something was going on. Originally, we had planned to hold this event at the travel agency, but as we heard more and more about your exploits around Paral, we began to envision something greater. An event that would bring together everyone you've helped. We've been wanting to thank you for the opportunity you've done, so Liplu's information provided the perfect opportunity. Bull's Hill almost made too much food for us to carry. We brought Kordialko, the snow spirit's favorite libation, among other traditional Yokoi fare. We hope everyone eats and drinks their food. We will return to it, and the other spirits who had expressed interest in coming. Perhaps I will guide them here at some point. Look around, Cypher. All these people from across Toral are here because of you. Show their gratitude to a dear friend. But even so, a small matter weighs heavy on the hearts of all present. You see, while you were a highly valued contributor to our project, we scarcely knew anything about you. Admittingly, the challenges we faced left us with little time for leisure, but even so, people speak of your exploits in Kordialko quite often, and with each new story, I learn more and more of who you are. It made me realize how little we actually know of your life, and it's made me feel somewhat sad. More than an advisor, helper, artisan. I'd like to know you as a person. We all feel that way, you can be sure. So if it isn't too much trouble, we'd like for you to tell us about the life, both within Toral and without. But before that, why don't you turn to something less dusty from travel? This is a party after all, and we'd like you to relax. All present are eager to speak with the guest of honor. Why not match their festive mood with equally festive attire? Battle will not be required of you during this quest. Ready that to the party? Yep. Very well. Now bring out the food and drink. Dejected. Look at him go. Go get him. That was great. Everybody partied their ass off. What a great time that was. Where you at least don't forget your worries, if even for about a moment. It's been a while since I was so relaxed. I'm glad to hear that. You throw yourself into one battle after another, don't you? Not any of us could keep up if our lives depended on it. Really, no one would begrudge you a little rest or recuperation from time to time. Now, I'm sure the others would like to speak with the guest of honor. Why don't you indulge them? Good pleasure to see your many fantastic sales, Cypher. You guys hear your stories. I can't imagine them. One day I hope to see those space carrots with my own eyes. It really gives us the motivation we need to make the gameplay even better. You may even hear talks of Gold Gulmo whenever far-flung locale your next adventure takes you. With outside orders increasing by the day, maybe it's time to dream bigger. Be more ambitious. We'll make the people on the move proud. I forgot to mention, Buffalo Aguilar and I came up with an interesting idea. I want to see what Liplu thinks, and we hope you'll stick around to hear her thoughts. Can't remember the last time I stopped worrying about my duties and simply lived in the moment. I know what Dr. Corp's passing, I think. When I saw Rokador's joy was so plain on his face, I realized all the work was worth it. The ziggurat the open arm now restored, it's time to look towards the future, to take this precious opportunity to decide how we wish to live our lives. Oh, I can only hope that means more business opportunities for us. I shall leave the county of coin to Master Nobly. Yet, if you ever require protection for any reason, I'm always willing to lend my arm. I am glad for the offer. Speaking of which, we had a proposal I want to share with Liplu before departing. Glad I had a chance to speak with you, Cypher, as well as everyone else gathered here. At the risk of repeating myself, I'd like to thank you for coming here. Thank you again for coming here, Cypher. The harder begins to scratch the surface, doesn't it? For the time you've given us and all the help you offered, I owe you a debt that I'm not likely to repay anytime soon. We couldn't have come nearly as far without you, that's for sure. And now? Bring it all together like this, you've given us opportunities for new endeavors. After a bit of discussion, we've come to realize our goals align almost perfectly. Yes, I want people in the life of Warlord's echoes have changed, that the snow spirits are no longer feared but embraced, and together we wish to shed the settlement's reputation as an isolated mountain community. We all share similar goals. We'd like the various people of Tyrol to remember each other not as strangers with esoteric customs, but as trusted neighbors. To that end, we have a proposal for you, Liplu. Might we partner with the Tyroli Travel Agency? We'd like travelers from across the continent to see our respective homes as they are now. That sounds like a wonderful plan. Cypher, as our special advisor, what are your thoughts? I have no objections. Well, we peddle you use commerce to build bridges between peoples. You bring them together through high adventure. How many others could say the same? No, I regret to say it. I suppose this little gathering must draw to a close. Don't be a stranger on Golgo, Cypher. Come check in at Rockwell Treasure and the other spirits too. We'll make a special batch of Kirikar just for you. Billy, you're already thinking of your next escapade, yes? Well, let's give you a hero's farewell. I may begin, Cypher, and may the road ahead of you be laden with good fortune. Society quest complete. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Actually, look at that achievement. Nice. Oh, nice. I was thinking that would be from North Horn. Apparently not. Plus, we got a new outfit. I need to see where it goes. Alright, it's a... Okay, can't be put in the armor. Alright. That goes specifically in the Glamour Berserker. Personally, I think that was it. Other than the relic weapon. Relic weapon, the other stuff. Like the rest of it's just grind. Oh. what we're gonna do is I think this is where we're gonna end for today. Getting a little tired. Oh, I'm gonna go get some rest, everybody. It was fun though. Now I'll be back tomorrow with some more stuffs. Not sure what we're doing yet, but we'll figure it out as we go along. So, y'all take it easy, and I'll talk to you later. All right, peace out. Have a good day, everybody.